Alrighty, hello everybody. My name's Roon, and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. For a start, I'd just like to apologize for the quality of my microphone. I'm currently using a set of headphones, but I'll be getting a new mic very soon. For this first episode, we're going to be jumping into Astronarch. Now, Astronarch is my new favorite game. I've been playing it for about a week, and I'm absolutely addicted to it. I've managed to delete my save files, and we're going to be starting from relatively fresh. I have played just one run already, so you'll see that when we start here, I've got a couple of the characters unlocked from what I did in that first run, but I thought for the first episode we'll start at corruption level 1. Now, for anyone that hasn't played Astronarch before, what it is it's basically a roguelike auto battler. So you're going to be choosing some characters, making up a party, and then you'll be heading out into battles, finding items, hopefully getting lucky and finding the right items that you need, and then working your way through 3 different acts where you have to fight a final boss at the end. Now, what we have to think about when we first begin, especially on a new run when you don't have all of the characters available, is what characters you want to use in your party, because that's going to determine whether or not you're going to make it to the end of a run. The game can be pretty unforgiving if you choose the wrong characters. So what I like to do is I'd like to have generally some sort of character who can tank in the front line. Then I'm going to want some sort of healing in my party to keep the tank alive, and then I'm going to want some sort of DPS. So a high damaging character. Now, especially in these early runs, you haven't got that many options. I won't play with any of these 3 who I've unlocked, or 4 that I've unlocked in my first run, because when you first start playing the game, you won't have access to those. So we'll talk about those in later runs. So when you first begin, you've got a bunch of choices. You've got the Juggernaut. He's one of my favorite tanks. He basically has a lot of health, a lot of defense, and then when he gets down to half health, he'll heal back up and he gets more defense on top of that. I don't use him for any damage, but just for soaking up enemy hits. We've got the Gladiator. The Gladiator can be really good as well. He's quite a high DPS character, so he can be used for DPS, but his passive ability for glory is what makes him so fantastic. So basically every battle that you win, he will increase his max HP by 10, which can then be upgraded to 20 and 30, depending on whether you upgrade that ability. We could use the Berserker. Now, Berserker, he's a DPS unit. He can be okay at tanking if you put the right items on him, but really he's just great at putting out damage and not super good at survivability. We've got the Wild Mage. The Wild Mage has just had an interesting buff, so it's a bit of a complicated character. When he begins the fight, he starts with a shield, but then every time he loses his shield, oh no, it's changed. When you're attacked while you have a shield, you deal damage to enemies. So it used to be that when your shield disappeared, he would damage everybody, but now looks like when you're attacked while you've got a shield on, he will hurt people. So he works very well if you put him alongside someone like, say, the Paladin. So he and all adjacent heroes gain shield equal to your defense as his active ability. So Paladin's another really good tank. He's got quite a high defense at 50 and decent hit points, and his active ability can be quite good for shields. I don't know if we'll use him in this run. We've got a couple other DPS characters available. So we've got the Frostmancer and we've got the Pyromancer. They basically are just high DPS mage units. The Frostmancer will chill enemies, and the Pyromancer is pretty OP. He will basically set things on fire, and then his active ability will explode those flaming effects, causing absolutely boatloads of damage. We've got the Warlock. Warlock does decent DPS and also heals. So based on the damage that he does, he'll heal a couple of party members. So he can be very useful in the right situations. Got the Cleric. The Cleric's basically just your main healing unit. He's just had a bit of a buff that means that he gains a shield when he receives healing. So I think the Cleric could potentially be a tank now if you geared him correctly, but I like just using him for heals. And then we've got the Assassin, and the Assassin is a really interesting character. Basically, he starts with the Hidden effect. So what Hidden does is it means that he won't be targeted by enemies unless he's the last surviving member of the team, which is really useful, especially because at the end of a run we'll have 5 characters, and as you'll see, we can only fit 4 on each side of the battlefield. So it tends to be a little difficult to build a party that's split across both sides because there's a lot of party members that affect each other only if they're adjacent. So the assassin and a later character that we're going to unlock are the two best to place on that side. Although in saying that, I've seen that in the newest update there's some changes to items which mean you could potentially make any character hidden a lot easier than before. So perhaps that's going to change the meta entirely. I don't know. But for a start, we'll just start with a really basic party that I seem to think does a pretty good job, especially in these early corruption levels. And honestly, having gone all the way through to corruption 18 or 19 already, these early levels really do feel quite easy. So don't don't worry about that. The game gets really, really hard later on. But for a start, it doesn't matter too much who we pick, but we might as well start with a good grouping so that if you want to copy and play along in a similar kind of way, you know you're going to do well. So we'll start with the Juggernaut. He's going to be our tank. He's got big health, big defense. When he gets hurt down to half health, he heals a bit of health, he gets more defense. And as a bonus, he can also stun, which is quite useful in some battles. Alongside of our tank, we're going to want some healing. So we're going to start with the Cleric, because he's the only, well, him and the Warlock are the two healers that we have at the beginning that we can choose from. The Cleric will heal the weakest adjacent hero for 10% of their hit points and remove a negative effect, which is very useful. He'll heal a little more consistently than the Warlock, unless, of course, the Warlock is geared in a particular kind of way. But starting with the Cleric is a very safe choice. And then we need some DPS, because these two alone won't do any damage, so let's go with the Pyromancer. Pyromancer, like I said before, incredibly OP. If you just want to chuck a bunch of DPS into your team, Pyromancer is a good way to go. Alright, so with all that said, let's begin our adventure. Okay, this is the Oracle, and at the beginning of the game, the Oracle will tell us a bit of the story. Centuries ago, it was foretold that an evil would enter the realm, and a group of hidden guardians would surface to defeat it. The guardians were said to be born of the sky, and thus became known as the Astronarch. Who are you? I'm a friend. I sensed the day of the Astronarch was upon us, and travelled here to guide you. There's more to discuss, but time is fleeting. Let's make haste. So, at the beginning, the Oracle is going to give us a blessing. We need to choose one of these 4 blessings. Now, we can either have 10% more HP, we can have 15% more defense, we can have 10% more attack, or we can reduce the cost of our active abilities by 15%. Now, HP can be very useful. I tend to go with that. Defense is a little hit and miss because a lot of enemies will do poison damage or piercing damage or burning damage, and that just ignores defense in the first place. Increasing our attack can also be very good, but at the moment we've only got 1 attacking character. Reducing the cost of our active abilities could be fantastic for our Cleric, honestly. So I think that we'll go with the Magician for this first one, because it's going to get our heals going just that little bit quicker. Now, I like to go at the bottom for a first run. You've got lots of options on that map of where you could go. Now, this guy is interesting. He burns your target and adjacent enemies. So what I like to do is just take away our DPS, and that will leave just our Cleric and our Juggernaut being burned by the lizard man. So we should be absolutely fine. Just get through that. Notice that the Pyromancer is not taking any of that burning damage. So we'll be sweet. Okay, so we've beaten the lizard, and here are our first 3 items that we get to choose from. So we get to choose one of these 3 rewards. Now, this has just been changed. It's not terrible, but it only works if there's 1 or 2 of you in your side of the battlefield. We're not going to be interested in that. The High Elf Claymore, your attacks have a 20% chance to deal additional 100% attack damage. Yes, could be really good on the Pyromancer, but the Symbiote is one of the best items in the game, in my opinion. Basically, it makes it so every time you cast your active ability, the cost of it is reduced, which means you can end up having your active ability fired off every second instead of every 5, 6, 8 seconds. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that and we're going to throw it on the Cleric. That's a very lucky item to get right from the get-go. And we're going to keep working our way along the map. Okay, we got a Slitherer. His attacks reduce our defense and our speed, and he steals HP. I don't think he's going to be much of a problem, so let's just go to town on this guy. Very easy. Okay, so we've got either some HP and some negate. This has just been buffed. It used to give 1 negate, now it gives 2, which is very good. If we put this on our tank, it means that he won't get afflicted with things like poison or bleed or any of those negative effects. We could get the Hag's Hex Bag, reduce attack and defense. It only lasts for 4 seconds, so I'm not too interested in that. Or we could get the Ochre Knot, which heals max HP over time. I think for this one, we're going to try out this newly buffed Noble Ward. So this is a bit more HP and defense for our tank, and a couple of negates. So if we have a closer look at this map, it always helps to plan out where you're going to go before you do. So we're going to work our way along the bottom. We're not going to have enough, well, we might have enough money. Sorry, I'm used to playing on higher difficulties, so we actually might have enough money to visit the merchant. It is good to hit these random events because you can get some pretty powerful buffs and items from them, but you want to balance that with how many normal battles that you do, because you need to earn money to spend in the shops and upgrade your items and that sort of thing. So we're going to work our way along. We're definitely going to hit all of the elite battles, because when you win an elite battle, you get ability orbs, which you can use to upgrade your passive and your active abilities. So they're really important. As long as you're not going to lose the battle, it's always a good idea to do it. And at this stage, I think we'll win all 3. So we're going to work our way along. We're going to go up through these elite battles. We'll have a look at how much money we've got and decide whether to go to the shop. I think we'll just avoid this shop, and then we'll make our way down to this shop before we fight our 3rd elite. We'll see what happens. All right, so let's just continue along the bottom. This guy poisons everybody, and he's a chance to disarm people when they attack him. So not too worried. We'll put him up here, though, so that if he gets low on health, the cleric can heal him up. Shouldn't have too much of a worry here. Our Pyromancer is doing quite good damage. You can see down the side here. Also, I should note at the beginning as well that this is your morale. So if this goes down to 0, we will lose the game. This is how much money we have, and through here we can see who dealt what damage. We can see how much damage people received and how much damage has been healed. So the cleric's healing a little bit at the moment. We'll fix that later. Okay, we found our first unique or legendary or item. So we could take the leech wraps. These will reduce the cost of an ability. They're quite good, so we might consider those. We can also take this, which will give us a shield every 5 seconds equal to 150% of our defense. This is quite a good item. It'd be really good on the wild mage that's just been buffed. So I think what we might do, yeah, let's take that and let's try it out on the newly buffed wild mage. We could also take the cleaver, reduce target's defense, but I'm really keen to see what the wild mage is like with its new buff. So yeah, let's do that. We'll make a wild mage tank. See what happens. Okay, 88 gold, 100 gold to upgrade an item. I think we're going to do that because it'd be cool to upgrade this symbiote. So we'll fight another normal battle, and in saying that, we might as well put this on this guy, because why not? And let's get cracking. Now these guys are a real pain, because every time they do their active ability, they increase their speed by 20%. It won't be a worry this early on when there's only one of them, but when he's got friends with him later on, he can be really dangerous. So if you watch his speed bar, you can see it gets smaller and smaller every time he casts his active ability. Boom, it's getting fast. And we're not going to have any worry at all. You can see the shield that's coming on from this final bastion, the little white line that's going to appear there, keeping us safe. Okay, 3 more items. We've got a Brain Sage. This will heal the weakest hero every 50 MP that gets spent. This guy is spending 50 MP relatively often. Oh. But see, the thing is that the symbiote is going to reduce the cost, and his MP there is the length of time it takes for him to cast the ability, right? So as that goes down, he won't be getting off a Brain Sage every single time he casts. This guy would at 71. I think what we'll do is we'll do that for now. Brain Sage is a good item. And let's hit the merchant. We'll be able to upgrade our symbiote or buy something. Oh. Which of these is going to be better for our wild mage? I think it'd be nice to have him with high attack rather than high defense, honestly. So perhaps this could be quite good on the wild mage. Every time he attacks, he gets a shield equal to 50% of his attack. And this one is 150% of his defense. His defense is not going to be very high, but his attack is, and he's going to attack a lot more often than every 5 seconds. So I think this could actually be more fun for testing out the Wild Mage. So what we're going to do, instead of upgrading the Symbiote, we'll buy this, and we'll put this on the Wild Mage when we get him, just to have a play. We'll see what happens. Okay, and it's time for our first elite battle. So here's a bit of a test. Okay, this guy attacks everybody, and has piercing damage, which means it goes through defense. So it doesn't really matter if we have defense. Shield, however, is useful. Let's chuck this on to our Pyromancer because he does the most damage, attack damage. He's got a faster attack speed than the Juggernaut, so see what happens. Should be absolutely fine here. Easy, piece of cake. Okay, so we're going to get our first ability orb, and it's an active ability orb, which is good for us because our active abilities for our cleric will increase the amount of HP that he heals, so that'll be very useful. And one of my favorite items in the game, the Whirlwind Axe. So we could either increase our defense by 2, we could get some more speed and a little bit of attack at the beginning of a fight, or we can get the Whirlwind Axe. I'm definitely taking the Whirlwind Axe. This ramps up your DPS over time. So every time you attack, you get a little bit faster, and we're going to chuck that on the Pyromancer. Now, the reason we're going to do that is he's our DPS. If he can attack faster, it'll be fantastic. And you can see that his attacks burn the enemies. So basically, once we upgrade his active ability, Detonate, those burn effects will start doing extra damage. So the more burns that we get on the enemy, the huger the explosions will be when he detonates them. We're not going to upgrade his active ability first, though. We'll go with the Cleric, because having more heals is always great. And we're going to go into our second elite battle. Okay, so this guy, when we kill him, he's going to summon a little robot dude that we're going to have to fight as well. And he basically attacks everyone based on his defense. So if we had something that would reduce his defense, it would mean that his active ability would do way less damage. But I'm not too worried. I think we'll be absolutely fine. Let's have a go. Yeah, so we can see the shield that the Pyromancer is building up some pretty good, but like this is piercing damage that he's doing, so that shield's not actually helping him at all. So it would have been better to put that shield on the Juggernaut, who's receiving the damage in hindsight, but it's not going to matter anyway. We've killed them all. Okay, and this blue orb, that's a passive orb, so we're going to use that to upgrade one of our passive abilities. We've got choices, so we could either have some more defense for our Juggernaut, we could have more defense for the Juggernaut, and this is like one that will ramp up over time, so the longer he's alive for, the higher his defense will get. That's quite good. However, Tundra Talisman is one of my favorite items. This will apply Frost to an enemy every 2 seconds. Frost will slow down the enemy's speed and increase the cost of their active ability. And you can have up to 5 stacks. So basically, if they're full of frost, 5 stacks of it, they'll be 20% slower in everything that they do. So that's really good against bosses. We're going to use this for now. Starting MP, it would be more useful on the Cleric. This will mean he'll get off his first heal a little bit quicker. Certainly can't hurt. And then we've got passive orbs. So another thing that's really important to think about when you're building a party, less so in the early corruption levels and more so later on when you get less ability orbs, is how many of your characters have strong passive abilities as opposed to strong actives. So like, for example, the Cleric, I'm not going to worry about putting any points into his passives, but I do want to max out his actives. With this guy, I'd like to max out both. And with the Juggernaut, I'm not worried about his active ability at all, but it would be nice to have some points in his passive so that he gets more defense when he gets down to 50% HP and he heals more health. But I think that's less important than putting a point on the Pyromancer, so we'll go with the Pyromancer first of all. Okay, and we're going to keep moving. We've got another random event. We'll hit that up. Now, I am going to take my time and explain everything in this episode, but as we go through later episodes, there'll be far less explanation. I'm just going to treat this episode like you might be someone coming into the game who's never played before, so I'm just explaining all the items and what they do. But as we continue playing, it'll be a lot quicker. I won't be taking quite so long to go through a run. Now, I think we might be able to win this battle. I don't actually want this viscous goo. It's an item that will disarm your enemies. I haven't found a hell of a lot of use for it just yet. I don't really need it, but what I want it for is so that I can sell it, because we'll get 40 gold for it, so it's worth a try. Now, these guys will poison everyone and heal themselves, so fingers crossed we can win, but if we don't, it doesn't matter. We've got lots of morale. We can afford to lose the fight. Ideally, we'll win it, and we'll get ourselves an extra 40 gold. And it looks like we're going to have absolutely no problem at all. It's very nice. The cleric is also taking off these poison stacks from the Juggernaut. Every time that he heals someone, the poison disappears, which is fantastic. So there we go. 20% chance to be disarmed when something attacks you. We will put it on the Juggernaut for now because he hasn't got a third item, but we are going to just sell it once we get to this shop. Okay. Yeah, our next fight is not an elite battle, so I'm willing to take... or do I just lose the morale? Less mass HP. Lose some morale. I'm going to lose some morale. We've got lots of it to spare. We get to choose an upgraded item. Ooh. Okay, 3 good items. Oakanaut will heal us up more. Quite nice on the Juggernaut. He'll have some constant heals. We've got the leash wraps though, and this is what I want. This is going to reduce the cost of our cleric's ability massively. So, or we can take the Royal Arbalist. This makes you attack the back row first, which can be really useful situationally. I think for this stage though, these leech wraps will be really nice. So what I'll do is I'm going to put those in place of the Frost Amulet, put the Frost Amulet on the Pyromancer, and then we're going to kick it back down to the bottom and work our way along. Okay, so these guys, they explode when you kill them, and they'll do damage to all of us. Not too much of a worry, and we've fought this guy before. Don't really think we need to change anything up here. So actually, we will, because this shield might be nice on him, and I'm not really worried about this disarming, honestly. So, oh, 22. Well, that's not very much. Let's use the disarm. Let's just do it. We're just saving this really for when we get the Wild Mage. I think the Wild Mage is going to be our next choice. We'll have to have a think about it when we complete this act. So as you can see, this composition's working quite well. The Juggernaut's barely taking any damage, and the Cleric's easily able to heal him up to full again when he does. Okay, so the full plate armor is just pure defense, can be quite good. The Impaler will give more damage, and it makes your damage deal, the damage that you deal as if they have no defense. Not bad. And reducing the target's defense is quite good as well. Now we have to start thinking about what we want. Okay, honestly, this is completely useless on our Pyromancer, so we can take that off. We could think about putting defense on our Juggernaut. I think it's a good idea, especially considering he's got the final Bastion, so he'll get more shield by having more defense. He'll get an extra 30 or so. So let's do that. I don't really care about this viscous goo. We're going to sell it, so let's just pump up his defense. So now he's got a defense of 72. He's going to get 108 shield every 5 seconds, and also once his passive goes off, once he reaches 50% max HP, he'll have even more defense, so this will give even more shield. So I think this is going to work quite well with our tank. And here's our first shot. So we've got 95 gold to spend. This is an interesting item. Every time you use your active ability, it increases your attack by 12. Honestly, this does work quite well, the Pyromancer. Or it would work quite well with our Wild Mage that we're going to get as well, especially considering that he gets shield equal to half of his attack. Oh, tricky, tricky, tricky. Okay, well, we'll sell the Viscous Goo. We don't need it. Now, the choice is, do we upgrade the Symbiote? Do we upgrade the Whirlwind Axe? Or do we get the Headdress of Fury for our Wild Mage? I want to try it. I want to just go all out wild mage this run. So let's give it a crack. I'm not going to worry about potions just yet. We'll save some money for later when we need it. These first bosses are not too hard, so let's chuck that on you for now. Let's move these guys down. So this guy will poison adjacent targets. So he's going to attack the Juggernaut. He's going to also poison the Cleric. It's not really a problem because the Cleric can heal him up and take away the poison, so no stress. But this guy won't get poisoned if he's sitting non-adjacent to these two. Adjacent just means in the same half of the battlefield. So we can see like his first attack didn't even damage him because of the shield that he had. So this shield that he's getting from this final bastion is fantastic. It's doing a really good job of keeping him healthy. See, look, this is just an absolute cakewalk. You can look at the damage. Pyromancer's is doing all our damage. Cleric's not doing too bad either. Ooh, okay. So, immunity to disarm and some attack can be quite useful. However, this is a great item. Any damage you take has a 12% chance to be prevented. It can be really nice on our Juggernaut. Yeah, so what I think we'll do is we'll take this, we'll put it in place of the Noble Ward. It's going to decrease his defense and his HP a little, and he's not going to start with negate. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. But I think we'll pump his defense. We'll use this. We'll be sweet. He's going to be very tanky with this strawberry. And we got another passive orb. So I'm thinking about our wild mage that we're going to get. Do we just dump all our points into his passive? I think that we should. This guy's passive is alright. It'll mean more damage. But I'm really curious to see how the wild mage is going to do. So let's go full on wild mage for this run and see what happens. Okay. Here's what I was talking about earlier. This guy can be quite dangerous if he's got friends. But luckily all three of us are targeting him, so he'll go down first. And then we'll get rid of these guys. This is going to be an interesting battle. We'll see how it goes. But I'm hopeful. So our Cleric's healing. Our Mystical Fruit's popping off. Oh, our Mystical Fruit's is proccing a lot, which is great, because it's only a 12% chance to not receive damage, so can't complain with the number of times that's far enough. And these guys are a pain because they've got healing, heal the weakest ally and apply poison, silence an enemy. We're all good. We're absolutely fine. Okay. Steal MP from attackers, heal max HP, gain hidden, find gold on attacks. Ooh, no, we don't want hidden on our wild mage. We don't want hidden on any of these guys, honestly. It's not worth sacrificing a slot. But maybe we take this, because then for our fifth character, we could take whoever we wanted. It doesn't necessarily need to be the assassin. Let's do that, because I haven't tried playing around with this new bandit hood yet. Keep working our way along. We'll go to the top this time. It'll be robot-y. Oh no, it's lizards. These guys are dangerous. I have a suspicion we're not going to survive this fight. Reduce their speed. We'll save this for the boss, maybe. Let's just see what happens. I don't think we're surviving. The Juggernaut's going to get absolutely wrecked. Come on, Cleric. Pump out some heals. Oh, Mystical Fruit coming in clutch. Oh, come on. Oh, the Pyromancer's looking a little unhealthy. No, we're good. I think we're good. We're good. Beautiful. Okay, we can take healing, poison attackers, and some defense. Or we can take immunity to silence. I'll take the immunity to silence. This is potentially useful later, or it's worth more money to sell in a shop. So let's do that. And we've got our first boss. So this is the Act 1 boss. Now, on the map, you can see there's 3 locations the boss could be. It's a different boss depending on what location he's in, but this guy will always be in the top lane. He starts with the gate, makes our active abilities cost more, which means it's going to take longer for our heals to get off. And then when he does his elimination protocol, which damages and stuns everybody, it damages the target and stuns everybody. When he does that, it's going to change. So instead of our active ability costing twice as much, our speed will be twice as slow. So it's just going to alternate between the two. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think we'll manage this guy perfectly all right. I don't really think there's anything we need to change with regards to the items that we've got down here. He can't silence or anything, so let's just go for it and see what happens. Luckily, he's got a really low speed of 3, so we're going to get quite a lot of shield up from this final bastion between his attacks, so yes, we might be all right. Heals getting quicker and quicker as the symbiote does its job. See our bar getting smaller and smaller, which is really good. Yeah, so even when he doubles the cost of our abilities, it's not too bad because the symbiote's dropping the cost anyway. See there, it's costing 15 less at the moment. And too easy. Oh, beautiful. We've got some really good options for items from this boss. We've got the life-giving chamber, which will basically take health off of one of our characters and give it to the other characters at the start of a battle. We've got the Reverie Totem, which is amazing. It slows the speed of every hero on your team and the enemy team by 15% every 2 seconds. So basically makes everyone except the character who it's on really slow. I don't want to play a build like that today. I want to have a couple of DPS characters. So we're going to take the Maiden's Mirror, especially because we're going to be using this on the Wild Mage. If his attacks were really slow because of the Reverie Totem, this wouldn't work. It won't be effective. So Maiden's Mirror is a brilliant item. Whenever you heal a hero by any means, a random damaged hero is additionally healed for 30% of the value. That can go up to 90% if we upgrade it. So we're going to take that and we're going to put it on our Cleric. So every time our Cleric heals someone, someone else will get healed as well. I think that can also proc on the same character, so if only one character was damaged, they would just take an additional 30% healing, but I'm not sure. So options. We want a bit more DPS. I kind of like the idea of having a Wild Mage as our off tank, so, or even as our main tank. We'll see how it goes, what the Wild Mage's survivability is like with all the shield it's getting. I think we're going to just use him as our off tank. So the Juggernaut will still take most of the damage, but he'll take damage sometimes. And when he does take damage, he deals damage to everybody, which is quite good. I'm not going to lie, I like it. Let's try it out. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's make haste. So double the effects of potions. Normal enemies can't be found in events. Gain 2 potion slots or shield is increased. Ooh, shield is increased wouldn't be bad for this because we've got 2 items that are giving shields to our characters. I really like normal enemies can't be found in events because there's a couple of events later on that are really useful. Not too worried about it this time though because having more shields is going to be awesome for both of these guys. Let's try it out. I don't normally go with the tower. I don't think I've ever chosen the tower before, but because we're going this Wild Mage route, I'm going to try it out. I'm going to see. The longer he's got shield on, the more damage he's going to do to everybody else. Before we go moving, let's sort out these orbs that we've got and our items. I want to put this Great Staff onto our Wild Mage. Also, this passive ability is going to do attack damage to all enemies. I quite like it, and I'm going to try it out with the Headrest of Fury. Also, I think it wouldn't hurt to put the Brain Sage on him or something with defense. Let's go with some HP, some defense, and some negate. That's not going to hurt. And for now, let's put the Brain Sage on the Pyromancer. It's not really helping him at all, but it will help heal everybody else. With these orbs, I want to put our active orb on the Cleric, get him up to 30% heal. And we're going to just buff up this passive because it's something new. And I want to try it. So now, at the start of combat, gain a shield equal to 75% of your max HP. That is humongous. When you attack while you've got a shield, deal 75% attack damage to all enemies. And remember, that's going to ramp up because of the Headrest of Fury, so that's going to be quite good. But he hasn't got a lot of defense. We'll see. Maybe we'll just see what happens. Let's go top. Okay, this is going to be an interesting test. This guy does quite a lot of damage, and he's going to be attacking the Wild Mage. So let's see. Let's see what happens. I'm curious. Oh, that's a big shield at the start. That's a massive shield. The piercing damage did get through, but Honestly, look at his damage. He's out DPSing the Pyromancer with that passive ability. Honestly, that's pretty good. He's doing a lot of damage already. Okay. Apply Frost and Burn every 3 times you attack. That's quite good for our Pyromancer. Let's take it. Let's get rid of the Brain Sage for now. I think our healing is on point for now. We could put this on someone else later on, potentially, but for now we're good. So we're going to hit all 3 elites, which is really good. Sometimes they'll land in a way like here and then here, and you can't do both, but we're going to get to hit them all, which is really nice. Got money to spend, so we're going to want to hit a shop. Probably hit this one. Yeah. Yeah, so let's just work our way along for now. Do I risk trying him out? Yeah, let's just see what happens, whether he can tank. I think he's gonna die. Oh wait, do these guys do piercing damage? Reduce defense, gain HP, attack damage. We're good, let's try it out. It's not piercing damage, so it won't go through the shield. And his shield's gonna go up every time he attacks. Oh, that's big damage though. Oh dear. Yeah, he's gonna get dead. Oh no. Yeah, he's dead. Okay, was an interesting gamble. Didn't pay off. I like this item. Starry Songbird. Every time you do your active ability, increase your speed. Can be quite nice. Okay, let's put that on the Wild Mage. So now, instead of being as super defensive, he's got shields for if something else hits him, if something hits all enemies or whatever, which will be interesting. And if something's attacking in the top row, then his passive will go off. But this is going to increase his speed, and with this, we're looking good. So every 6 seconds, his speed will go up by 10%, and every time he attacks, every 6 seconds, his speed will go up by 10%, and his attack will go up by 12, which is really good. And he gets shield equal to his attack every time he attacks. So being faster speed is good for this. So yeah, normally I would play the Wild Mage using his active, but with this passive route, this is interesting. So let's just carry on and see what happens with him. I don't think this is going to be more effective than using him as a DPS or with his active, but as a caster, I should say. So this guy's going to attack him. That's all good. Let's see what happens. See, that shield's really good. That shield helped him tank half a health bar already. Honestly, he's a pretty good off tank, it looks like. Okay, frail defense. That means that each time you're attacked, it goes down by 5. So it'll last for 6 attacks. He'll have extra defense and more HP. Poison enemies. I don't like this item. It slows your speed by 20% and gives you a chance to stun. Speed is really important for DPS, so we're not going to bother with that. Frail defense. Honestly, let's take the money. Work our way. We'll take an event. See what we get. Ah. Okay. I'm not too worried about morale this run. I don't think we're going to die. So we just take a loss from... We lose half our morale. Or gain... Okay, so basically this is going to give us an item that turns normal damage into bleed. 30% of it. And then if we find another item that we can upgrade, then we'll be able to negate bleed damage entirely. So it'll essentially just be 30% less damage. So I do want it just on the off chance we find the other armor. 5 attack, defense, and speed. Let's just sacrifice our morale. Okay, so we've got the Vampiric Guard. Active and attack damage you take is reduced by 30% and dealt as bleed instead. Can be handy for later on if we find the purple armor that goes with it. Okay, this guy used to be really awful, but he's not so bad anymore, and I think with the build we've got, he's not going to be terrible. We don't want him... So what he'll do is he'll steal positive effects from us. We don't want him to get like a bunch more attack or speed. So honestly, let's just take off those items. Let's see if we can win it this way. Give you that, and... Does he silence? No, just makes them bleed. And bit more more speed. Yeah, let's do it that way. Come on, Cleric, keep healing. No, we're good. We're all good here. Oh, our Pyromancer's dead. That's not good. He was our main DPS. Okay, we're in a little bit of trouble, but he's quite low on HP, so we're all good. We made it. Another symbiote. Let's take another symbiote. We could get poison or shield, but we'll take the symbiote for our 5th character, I think. I'm kind of interested in putting another caster in, so... Okay, so we're going to kill this guy first. He's going to attack the wild mage. Is it piercing damage? Reduces defense. It's not piercing damage, but it's bleed. That's okay. I think we're good. Oh, and we've got an active orb. Let's put that on our Pyromancer. So basically this will mean that when he detonates the burns, it'll do 1.5% more damage. So that's pretty cool. And we want to go back to our original setup. So Starry Songbird was on here. This was on here. It's looking a little better. Oh, we don't want this bandit hood on here. Let's put this one for the burns. And let's go with that. Honestly, the shield on the wild mage is really good. Look at the damage that he's doing. So all this damage on this guy came from just the wild mage. The wild mage already took off about 1/5 of his HP before we started attacking him. Not terrible. Still not meta, I don't think. I don't think this is a really good idea, but we should get through the run doing it. More attack. Could be nice on our Pyromancer, honestly. Well, a burn of 49 is quite nice, because he'll detonate that and turn it into like 60. Yeah, okay, here's what we'll do. We'll take some more damage. We'll save it for later. We'll eventually, I think for our 5th character, we might get a Frostmancer and make him hidden. Could be quite fun. It's something I've never done before. So we'll keep this until we have a Frostmancer and then use him. I do not want to sacrifice the Maiden's Mirror. Also, 14 morale. Let's do it. We'll just gamble. We might lose the game, or we have some more money to spend in a shop. So, Gravedigger. Whoever's dealt the most damage is going to take a big hit of 640. Our Pyromancer only has 600 health, so this will insta-kill our Pyromancer, which I don't like. Do we give him some defense or some more HP and some defense so he can survive a hit? Let's do... Oh, we want the frost though. I do want... Okay, so... I want him to have some defense, but we want the frost. So... If we put this on, some of that damage will bleed, and then hopefully the cleric can heal him before he dies. Let's try that. Otherwise, this guy might just be the death of us. So when he pops that 640 damage, 30% will be a bleed. So now he's bleeding. Hopefully the cleric can heal him up. Yep, the cleric's healed him. Hopefully the cleric will heal him again. Oh no, he's going to heal the Juggernaut. Now we might be in trouble. Nope, we're healed up. We're good. So now he's going to survive the next attack. Getting a heal over there. We're totally laughing. Perfect. Easy peasy. And we get another active orb and an unstable orb. 20 more defense. Attackers have a chance of receiving a minor curse. Honestly, I quite like this setup we've got going here. Increasing speed. Yeah, so... Wow, the Wild Mage did a lot of damage that round. So... Let's take the money. And let's put another... In fact, a Wild Mage is going to have quite high attack, so let's put a point into him. Let's hit the shop before our next fight, because we've got so much money. Okay, the beam is an interesting item, and so is the Zephyr Pendant. This one increases your speed every second. This guy's got a slow attack speed to start with, so it could be quite nice to swap this with the Zephyr Pendant. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Now, not too worried about his active going off quickly. I do want something else on him though, so the Frost Pendant. Okay, what did we have on him before? This. Yeah, let's go back to this. Let's, with our Frostmancer, I want to do a bit of a speed build. So I'm thinking Symbiote and Starry Songbird together. Every time this reduces, this means your active ability goes faster. This means when you use your active ability, you get more speed. So it's going to get really fast in both attacks and active abilities. So I think we're going to keep these two, and we'll keep the Vampiric Guard in case we get the purple armor, which I was hoping for in the shop, but we didn't get. And we'll keep one damage item for now and sell everything else. Brain Sage is nice, but I don't see much of a use for it in this run. Do we want the silence immunity? No, because I can upgrade 5 items, which is absurd. So let's do that. Oh, we got an achievement. That's nice. Okay. Now, I want to upgrade our Symbiote so we get some more heals going quicker. Upgrade the Zephyr Pendant so we get some more DPS. Upgrade the Whirlwind Axe so we get some more DPS. Maiden's Mirror is pretty cool. Could upgrade that. Yeah, let's do it. And then more shield for our Juggernaut. It's not a bad shout. Gives us 100 more. It's a lot more than if we upgrade this. 3 times your defense, so we get another 60 if we did that. We get another 100 if we do that. 90. But we also get defense if we do that. Or upgrade this and take 12% less damage. Thing is, we've got so many good items. Do we do this and get more shield on the Wild Mage? Or do we get more attack on the Wild Mage? More attack, it's not a bad idea. That's quite a crazy item. Let's do that. Let's just go all out. And this battle shouldn't be too bad. We've got a lot of upgrades. Now, the special ability of this guy will basically just consume your character. So every 13 seconds, one of your characters is just gonna die. It's piercing damage, so nothing you really do can avoid it. I think the Vampiric Guard might reduce that. I'm not sure. Let's try it. It's going to do a lot of damage to us if we don't have any defense, though. You know what? I think we just go for it. We've got potions here we could use, but everything's been going quite well so far, so let's just try the fight. See what happens. Oh, the Wild Mage is doing good damage. Yeah, we did lose the Juggernaut, but only just. Defense and steal MP from attackers is probably better than just this defense, to be honest. So we could take more Frost. We could take Crag's Cleaver for HP and reduce enemy defense. This could be nice on a Frostmancer. No, unnecessary. So I guess it would add an extra stack of Frost, but it's going to add stacks really fast anyway. So let's do that. And let's move forward. We've got a passive orb. We'll put that on the Pyromancer. Now this will put us into a fight. I don't mind doing that fight. I think we might be okay. So we'll help the bandit, which will set these guys on fire at the start. It can be quite difficult if you haven't done that. So let's just move everyone down to the bottom. This guy will basically make everyone who he's attacked, all of his allies attack the same person anyway, so this guy's going to get attacked by all three regardless of our positioning. But by putting them down the bottom here, we'll kill this guy before we kill this guy. And his passive is really annoying. Increase enemy active ability cost by 25 every time they use. Basically, he'll stop our cleric from doing quick heals. So, yeah, let's do it. Oof. It's okay. This guy's got a lot of shield. So, yeah, our Wild Mage was able to tank a few hits there with his shield from his attacks. Absolutely no worries. It's okay, we've got a little bit of morale, we can afford to lose one. This can be nice, increase the healing of everybody, stun everyone, or deal more damage equal to your missing HP. Honestly, with the build we've got going, I don't think any of these are going to help us. We'll take the gold, and I don't mind hitting another event. Let's hit another event, see what we get. 30 gold to roll 2 dice. Let's do it. Oh, Zephyr Pendant. That's a nice thing to get. I like that. And let's hit the shot. Okay, Calamity makes you deal damage to everyone. Not too interested in that right now. We will get another upgrade though if we sell a couple items. So it's a case of deciding now, do I want to use the Zephyr Pendant on my Frostmancer, who we're getting in a moment, or do I want to use the Starry Songbird and the Symbiote? I kind of want to use the Starry Songbird and the Symbiote together. So in fact, Wild Mage 1.6. We've already upgraded that. Let's just sell the Zephyr Pendant. Sell our plate body. We'll keep this just in a hopeful, and these 3 items will go on our Frostmancer at the moment. I don't think we need any potions for this boss fight coming up, so let's just crack back into it. And put you guys back up where they were before. He'll be the last to be attacked, so for now this will work. Wild Mage will take damage from the Doomsayer. Doomsayer will apply Doom to everyone. So what that does is when Doom hits, it takes off, after 6 seconds, it just takes off 80% of all of your HP. Of your max HP. So like if you're already damaged, it'll kill you. But shields and stuff will help. So these guys might be alright. These guys might take a bit of a hit. We'll see. This guy damages everyone. Honestly, this is kind of a hard fight. We'll just see what happens. Again, I'm not too worried if we lose any of these fights. I'm used to playing on higher corruption levels where it'd be a bit more detrimental, but if we lose the morale, I'm not too worried about losing the game. And look at that. We've absolutely steamrolled it. Defense Gauntlet is quite nice. If you lose 20% of your max HP, you gain a shield equal to 5% of your max HP and deal piercing damage to everyone. That's kind of what this guy does already, and this setup that he's got going is quite nice, so we're not going to worry about that. We'll take the gold and move into our boss. Okay, so he attacks twice and he deals damage split among all adjacent targets and applies Doom to the enemy with the least HP. Honestly, not too worried. Let's just do it. Cross our fingers here. I'm pretty sure we're going to be alright. Could poison him or reduce his speed if we need to. But I don't think we're going to need to, because look, this heal's ramping up really quick. We're absolutely fine. Okay, and we get a couple of ability orbs, potion, bunch of gold, and do we want Ragnarok? Oh, this could be juicy on our Pyromancer. It applies a burn, which he's then going to blow up. So I think we do want that. We could gain attack and speed at the beginning and with swap for half of our HP in exchange for half of our HP, or we could get Calamity, which I don't really like. So for our Pyromancer build, I think Ragnarok is a bit of a no-brainer. Alrighty, so time to choose a new character to come with us for the third act. Now, usually I would go with the assassin because he's hidden, so he can sit down on this side, not take any damage. But we got the... Oh no. Oh no! I sold the bandit's hood. Oh, what a moron. Okay, I made a mistake. I sold the bandit's hood that we were planning on using to take the Frostmancer. So we were going to make him hidden and put him down here, and then he was going to do his thing. However, we sold it, which is very silly. I guess I just forgot. Oh well. So what that means is that our options really are the assassin or the outlaw, which we haven't unlocked yet because this is a fresh run. So what we'll do is we'll take the assassin. He's a safe bet. He's going to be hidden. They can't attack him. The enemies on the bottom half won't attack him, and they'll go straight for our Juggernaut. So we're just going to do that. We'll put the Ragnarok on the assassin, and we'll ramp up his speed, and we'll do it that way. And we'll make our Pyromancer cast more often. Let's do it that way. We're going to mix it up a little. Okay, what are our options? Elites drop ancient items, double the effective potions, items received are twice as likely to be upgraded, or more gold. I'm going to take the Queen of Pentacles. I want some upgraded items. Our items aren't perfect. There's a few weird things going on, so it'd be nice to get a couple of free upgrades. Okay, we're going to put the Symbiote on the Pyromancer. Tundra Amulet we'll take away. We'll put more attack damage on the Pyromancer. In fact, we'll go like this. Starry Songbird. So now, Pyromancer is going to be the one who gets his active off a little more often. It gets off quicker and quicker, which will also increase his speed. And he's got a bit of damage, so his burns are a little higher, 63. Our Assassin, however, we're going to have him start to attack really quick, and we're going to have him using the Ragnarok, so that he's adding more burns that our Pyromancer will then explode, and they'll do more and more damage. We could take off the Tundra Talisman potentially, but I like having the Frost on enemies. It's not a huge benefit to us at the moment. Let's go a bit more speed for now, but we'll put this on for bosses. I think that's the way to go. Passive Orb, Juggernaut, or Assassin. So more damage, more poison damage on the Assassin, or we can increase our survivability on the Juggernaut. I think that's going to be our option for now. We have an active orb. Honestly, I want to put it on the Pyromancer. So now we've got this Ragnarok. We're going to be doing some wicked explosions. So let's do that. And then let's start moving along again. I think we'll just go along the bottom for a start. So the enemies are different in each lane. I kind of like the bottom lane. These guys can be pretty awful. So interesting to see how this goes. If this goes really terribly, we might work up into a different lane. Maybe go along the top. Actually, no, the top would be no good because we've got a lot of shields. And there's these like praying mantis dudes that do a lot of shield damage. Basically, these guys apply burns. And it's just awful. Everything that they do is awful. Curses, piercing damage to all enemies. Burns. And then, yeah, it's not nice. These guys add leech, which is not nice. And then these guys apply burns. This could be a bad battle. We'll see. This might not go well. Depends how quickly we get it. Nope. 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 Heals. Come on. Heals. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's game over. Oh, no. Not game over. That's a lost battle. We've got the morale to lose. It's not the end of the world. Okay, cool. Although we didn't get to take either of these, this is not a bad item. So it's an upgrade, direct upgrade on that. So let's just do that. And let's... Okay, another thing. We want to hit these events because there's one really good event that can only happen in the third act called Interstellar Cellar, which will upgrade all of our items. And that's a no-brainer to take that. So we want to hit more events, as many events as we can. Also, would quite like to go to the shop. So I'm going to continue along the bottom, take the events, and go to the shop. Okay, this guy does more DPS. So I'm going to put the Juggernaut here and keep this guy on the bottom. These things are very annoying. They will make it so that these guys will keep fighting even after they die. Not a huge deal though, because we can just kill it afterwards. $5 seconds, 90 is not much. That's not much. That's pretty crappy, honestly. Mm. Let's do it. Just moving a couple items around. Give the Whirlwind Axe to the Pyromancer. Take the Helm of the Mad King, because he is being hit, so that's a pretty big upgrade every time he's hit. And then he's going to have enough speed already. So yeah, let's just try that. We'll try that out, see how it goes. These guys target the back row first, so if we left it as is, our cleric would get absolutely ruined. We don't want that. So what I'm going to do is put the Juggernaut in the back. He'll take the hits of this guy. A burn. A burn will go through his shields, but it'll also go through his defense. Reduces defense. Tricky, 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 tricky. 147 DPS. Okay. Let's just try it like this. I would have loved to have picked up that armor that makes bleed go away. No, we're good. We're good. We're absolutely fine. Nothing to worry about. Ascension Cloak. You know what? I don't mind the idea of putting the Ascension Cloak on the Juggernaut, because that way if he's taking hits from 3 guys, 2 of them will then swap over and start attacking the Wild Mage. And by that point we should have some heals going on. Maybe that's not a bad idea. Okay, I'm going for Interstellar Seller. Come on, please. No, Budget Merchant. Not going to do any of that. I like to know what I'm going to get. Now, I'd like the event. We've got a bit of money and a bit of stuff to sell. We'll go to this merchant. No, yeah, we'll go to this merchant and then make our way to the boss. Okay, so we'll ignore this merchant. I think we might make it through without it. I don't know. Ability orb for a tough battle. We've got morale. We might as well take a risk and try. These guys hurt though. Oh, and the Ascension Cloak's going to get our Wild Mage killed, so we're not going to wear that for this fight. Absolutely not. We'll lower their speed with a potion. And steal their mana. Stole their mana. So we've given ourselves a good shot at the beginning here. If the Wild Mage stays alive, no. Oh. Messy. Yeah, Pyromancer's gonna die. Oh, Cleric's doing the work. Oh, we made it. Oh my lord. Okay. Negate, defense, speed. We're gonna take the defense. Extra defense above this. do it. We're going to work our way up to the elite battle. Okay. Honestly, I'm not very happy with this shield. 105 shield every 5 seconds. It's not a lot. Probably better to have more defense. There's not piercing damage on these guys, so. Ooh. Lost 2 morale. Ah, gorgeous. Your attacks burn your target for 40 damage over 10 seconds. This is humongous for our Pyromancer. This is exactly the item that we want. It could go on any character to add more burning damage, but we'll put it on the Pyromancer. We'll give him a bit of speed. Won't hurt. Could go on him or him. Either of our fast attacking characters. Okay. Damage to your target. Apply poison. And then those poisons move on to someone else. And every time he loses 30% of his HP, he'll stun everyone and hurt everyone. Oh, we got a passive orb. When did I get that? More survivability for our Juggernaut is always good. Piercing damage, no. He does have poison, but the shield won't save us from that. Defense. So 20 defense means he can essentially take 20% more damage. This isn't 20% of his health, so honestly, this helmet isn't as good as I thought it was. That stun is pretty nasty. Oh god, that stun is nasty. Come on, heals, heals, heals. Okay, we're good. Deal additional damage equal to your defense. Ooh. It's not going to be bad because he gets a lot more defense once he goes below half HP. Let's try it out. Let's try it out. This game's about experimenting, right? Okay, these things suck. All healing effects go to a different... go to them. So everything we heal will go to them. So we don't want our cleric to be good. Let's... I mean, we're kicking ourselves in the foot here. We're probably going to die. But that's all we can do. We just got to try. Oh god, we had an active ability orb. Okay, that was stupid. Yeah, we're absolutely wrecked here, I'm afraid. There's no way that our assassin can survive. Lost some morale. A flamey sword. Oh god, that was the armor we wanted as well, we missed out on. And it was upgraded. Oh, that hurts. Okay, put these back on the cleric. This guy attacks everyone and moves them all around. He's pretty nasty, honestly. Active orb first. Wild mage. He's doing okay damage. Yeah, let's do... buff him up. And... more burning. A Pyromancer. Honestly, having this symbiote on him is not that useful. It's not useful at all. Let's just have more burns and more speed. The reason I swapped those around is he's got a faster attack to begin with, so this will ramp up quicker on him than on him. I should have done that earlier. Steal MP. We would like to steal his MP. Oh god, our assassin is dead already. That was quick. Now Juggernaut's about to die, but we've got the damage coming. We're good. We're all good. Not sure what tragedy was for. Oh, oh my god, the game is being kind. We got a lot of fire damage. Look at this damage. Disgusting. This merchant. This will be the last one we can go to because of our pathing on the map. And we didn't get the item we wanted, so we're going to get rid of the Vampire Guard. That's a free $40. We should have been using this on the bosses. It was silly of me. Damage, we don't need. Songbird, don't need. Ascension Cloak, don't need. Final Bastion, I didn't like you. I'm not going to be using you again. Do we need more DPS on anyone? No. No. Symbiote. No. 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 Passive Orb. More damage? Yeah, more poison damage on the assassin. That would be a good idea. Do we? Yeah, we'll save this for the last boss. Yeah. And we've got $560. I think we could get even more. I say dollars, gold. You know what I mean. Okay. No, we're gonna upgrade. So we'll upgrade our strawberry. We'll upgrade our... Oh, do we want more shield on him? I don't know. Symbiote for sure. Our speed items, let's do that. And do we have another 100 left? We do. I think we'll upgrade the mirror. Maiden's mirror. Or do we upgrade Ragnarok for more damage? It's big damage. Still hoping for Interstellar later, so I don't really want to upgrade things to 2 unless it's absolutely necessary. Could do that. Let's do that. That'll be fun. Okay, Interstellar, come on. Nope. Now I think our next fight's an elite battle. It is, so I don't want to have less max HP. So, and we don't need gold. What am I talking about? We're not going to be able to get to the shop, so there's no need for us to take gold at all. Won't help us. Okay. I found in the past that I always die on this fight. This is a hard fight. He's going to increase his attack each time he hits an ally by 120, which is absurd. Sorry, each ally is 30, so times 3, 90. Sorry, yeah, 30 times 3, 90. And he's going to do that a few times. There's got to be a way to deal with it, but I don't really know what that way is. This would be a very lucky if it landed on him, so I don't think it's really going to help. I think we just lose this fight. Just take a loss. We don't really need the ability orbs. We don't need the morale. We've got enough. Yeah, see what I mean? We are dead. He's already up to 440 attack. It's disgusting. Oh, we got 5 morale. If we lose this fight... Oh... I didn't think about that. If we lose this fight, it's game over. Okay, if we lose this fight, it's game over. We don't want to lose this fight. These guys are pretty nasty. Let's just go all out with our potions. And hope for the best. Yeah. All we can do at this point is just hope and pray. No, we are so toast. That's game over. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Nice! That was lucky. We got another symbiote. We'll take it. I don't know what we'll use it on. Oh no. No, no, no. This is going to be game over. Almost certain of it. These guys move your target around. Ugh, yuck. This team has not done very well for me. I've made a mistake somewhere along the lines, and I think it has to do with this guy. He's not a very good off tank. We don't have enough going on. You know what? We'll just use both our potions and just hope for the best. That's all we can do. Oh dear God. Oh dear. Okay. This back line. Oh, the back line coming in clutch. Oh. Making me nervous. We've got one morale left. That means if a single guy dies in the boss fight, it's game over. I don't need any of those. Oh, and someone's gonna die for sure. Probably the assassin. Oh no, he only silences the back row, so he won't get hurt. We might be okay. I don't know if we're gonna be okay. Oh yeah, the heals coming in clutch. Thank you, cleric. We're good. Come on, heal him up. Heal him up. Heal him up. Okay, we're good. We're so good. We are laughing. Now, considering this is only corruption level 1, we're not doing as well as I would have hoped. Okay, do we want more damage? Do we want leech? Upgraded leech or frail attack and speed on our assassin? I want some leech because that'll help us keep our HP up in this final boss fight. Now, there's only adjacent enemies, however. And these guys are going to be taking all the damage. Because these tentacles are going to be absolutely rolling these guys. Okay, he's going to have shield. So we're going to put him behind the Juggernaut. He's going to take... These two are going to take the bulk of the hits. These guys will take hits, but just from one tentacle. He won't take any hits. We want leech on these guys because they're taking all the damage. So I'm going to swap those two around. Pyromancer is going to put leech on these tentacles, and then as it ramps up, as that ramps up, these guys will heal themselves when they attack. We've got some orbs to spend. It's a bit more damage on you, and yeah. Do we want more stun? No, the stun doesn't go up. More damage and silence. And we've got one holy water that we can use to get through the first crash attack, active ability of these guys. So that's what we're going to do. We'll pop this just before they do their active ability. That'll help us get our healing ramped up a little. We're going to pop that. No. So we're immune to damage. Okay, cool. And now our heals are going to get faster. Hopefully the cleric can survive. Come on, cleric. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. We're absolutely good. And then we're going to steamroll this final boss with all of our fire damage. Look at the Pyromancer and Assassin, how much damage they're doing. It's disgusting. Okay. I don't know why I was so nervous. I think because I was down to 1 morale. We sacrificed a lot of morale along the way, so then those like little deaths that we had were pretty bad. And here's the big boss, the Corrupted Oracle. We made it to the very end. We haven't got any potions to help us out, so we may still get rolled here. Every time he loses 10% of his HP, he gets 10 negate, which means those burning effects won't apply to him, which is not good. And then his active ability equalizes HP of all enemies, does attack damage, piercing attack damage to everyone, removes shield, and positive effects from enemies. So our assassin's probably going to die here. Although, we've got Leech, he probably won't die. Hopefully, the Leech will sustain him. No potions. We could apply Frost to him, would be quite nice. I think we're going to do that. I want less heals. Yeah. I want to Frost him, make him 20% slower. That'll help a lot. We are giving up Helm of the Mad King, but it hasn't been upgraded. Not the end of the world. Let's just go for it and cross our fingers. This is it. So now we find out whether or not that this build is good enough to take out the final boss, and I think it absolutely is. So as you can see, wow, the Pyromancer does a lot of damage. And boom. So as you can see, corruption level 1 ended up being very easy. If I hadn't have sacrificed morale along the way during that run, then it would have been far easier. So we've unlocked the Outlaw, which is great. We'll use him in the next run. And we've unlocked corruption level 2, which will make the game slightly harder. Now, obviously, like I was saying, this being the very first episode, I was quite thorough, I think, in describing some of the items and what they do. But going forward, I won't describe any items that we've already seen, not in great detail anyway. I'll just make brief comments about them. So this playtime of 1:15, this is not going to be typical. Normally when I play a game, it takes about 40-45 minutes to get through a run of Astronarch, so I imagine we'll be sitting a lot closer to that kind of time in the future episodes. And also, again, I just want to reiterate, I'm sorry about the quality of my microphone at the moment. In the next week or so, I'll have a new microphone on the way. So I hope you did enjoy this run, and I'll see you, I hope, in the next one. Thanks for watching.